May I first of all, President, express my deepest thanks to you for the warmth of your reception to myself and my wife Sabine and all those travelling with me. And do permit me to just say in my own 5,000-year-old language that sentiment. Tás an dána go bhfuil an má bhuíchas a ghlachalátas an fircin fórse dair túróm héin Mr. Van Céile is iad san a tóirtáiste lam agus muide cilúra an seán goile tá an idir muintan an gréige agus muintan a héireann. I have wanted very much to have this visit as well to make a positive contribution to all of our conversation together on the future of Europe. I know that President Macron was here recently, and I read his speech, the speech he gave in Athens. I think he did acknowledge that great mistakes with great effect on the Greek people had been made, and that these were mistakes of the European Union. If we're to draw on this and go forward, I think I have to say something much stronger. And that is that cohesion, social Europe must be placed at the top of the agenda we all now share on the future of the Union. Social cohesion within countries and social between the countries of the Union. President, I very much appreciated the valuable opportunity which today presented for what was a very substantive and open dialogue about the challenges today for our Europe and for our two peoples. We share a common perspective on the future of the European Union, the urgency of recovering and strengthening social cohesion, the vital importance of protecting human rights as we seek to address the needs of those fleeing from war and persecution, and the need to forge ever stronger and enduring cultural, education, and business link. as we debate and discuss the future of our union, we do so cognizant of the role that the union has played at its best in transforming our two countries. And it is my hope that the summit that will take place on the Western Balkans in May will prove to be a milestone too in welcoming others into our union based on a shared commitment to the values of respect for human dignity and human rights, freedom, democracy, equality, and I repeat again, creativity. Our union, as you have said, President, stretches from the west of Ireland, where Sabine and I call home, to the borders of Greece. And while we may be separated by geography, we have so much, as again you have referred to, many profound ties in our shared history. I speak not only of a common experience of a long struggle for national independence, but of two cultures shared and shaped by an experience of exile and immigration, of the importance of the journey. When your distinguished poet George Zephyrus wrote of images nourished under foreign skies, he gave voice to so many of our people, Irish and Greek, who have left our shores throughout their histories. For that reason, I believe that we draw on a mutual experience, and from it a special solidarity for the plight of those who have left their homes fleeing war, persecution, famine, and natural disasters. As President of Ireland, I pay tribute to the Greek people in that regard. The Greek people, in the generosity of their response to the plight of refugees, in offering shelter and a dignified future and safety to so many, have provided an example of hospitality and solidarity, not only to the people of Ireland, but to the peoples of our European Union. Theirs is an example, I hope, that will be taken up with answerable efforts. One of the things I hope will really flow from my visit here is I want to just emphasize the visit of the President of Ireland and my meetings with your President yesterday, the Prime Minister, the Mayor of Athens, and so many others, is to say my very strong belief that there is a great future for Greece and that we are in a new moment that we must all exploit with enthusiasm and commitment. And certainly I will be encouraging and do encourage people to invest in Greece, to build on an old enduring relationship which has been there for a very, very long time, but also to seize the capacity of a new moment. We have all been through what polite people call a contraction in economy, but what those of us who have been in the public world and in politics know has brought great, great hardship often on so many of our people. But we are, I think, as I said, in a new moment that we must all now develop.
Plato believed that the perfect republic would come about either when philosophers become kings or kings become philosophers. Borrowing from Percy Bysshe Shelley, who believed that the poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world, I propose instead that the ideal republic is more likely to be achieved when poets become presidents.
As the President and I stood together during our national anthems yesterday, I felt deeply moved as I reflected on the rich history which we share.
Our two nations stand indeed at opposite corners of this continent, yet it is easily recognized what connections we've had from the earliest and even more important, what we might share together in the future. As we participate in the making of a union of European publics, one that can acknowledge, respect, and celebrate diversity, what we both bring to such an endeavor is a valuable experience. It includes the production and preservation of intellectual work, an interrogation of how life is to be lived, an historical struggle for independence, a national family that includes in both of our cases a large and valuable migratory component. Both of our people have been travelers. For the journeys we have attempted, we have constructed myths of gods made human in their weakness, and told stories of humans and their aspirations to be godlike have fallen to being merely heroic. We share the sea, the importance of the interpretation and symbolism of a journey, migration, island life, land, possession and dispossession. Navigation and exploration have been at the center of both of our experiences as migratory peoples. It has defined our intellectual development too. The journeys undertaken not just over water to new places, but within, soul journeys that test and extend the frontiers of human understanding. Migration, of course, in our current period, has been described as morally, politically, and economically the defining issue of the 21st century. As the Irishman who headed the Global Forum on Migration and Development of the UN put it in a number of passionate statements on migration and the defense of the most vulnerable, he reminded us that the way we respond to the challenge, as he put it, reveals a great deal about the state of our society, the integrity of our communities, and the prospects for our collective future. He was referring to the global response, but he might equally have been referring to the response of individual states. In this regard, the word empathy, empathos, is Greek in origin, but was reclaimed and given affirmation in the contemporary period by Greece in the eyes of the world through the reception shown to those fleeing from crisis arriving on Europe's borders. Viewed this way, the hospitality shown by Greece to today's victims of war, expulsion, dispossession, and extreme nationalism is by any measure extraordinary. Thank you again for the honor you have conferred upon me today. I appreciated greatly our opportunity for meeting, sharing as we should, I believe, a common perspective about the future of Europe, about the challenges that lie ahead. Our meeting has been perhaps overdue. I spoke earlier of thresholds. We stand together, all of us, at a threshold as we look across and forward. conscious, yes, of what went before, but I feel confident in the power and potential of our partnership to build a new future. And it is my particular hope that this visit will deepen our joint endeavour and that we can with confidence and take custody of ours and this vital European partnership and hand it to the new leaders that will emerge from this fine university, who will speak truth not only to power, but with love and care to the European street and all its broken spirits. Thank you, Mila Buikas.
βραδιά μαγική μέσα στο μισήρι την είδα ήταν ξωτική ομορφιά η κιουλβακάρι γλυκιά.
The connection between our countries, of course, between Greece and Ireland, is not a recent one, but one that stretches back millennia. Our respective mythologies stand with the Roman, Iranian, Egyptian, Norse as the last echoes of the tradition of storytelling of the heroic age, when, as I've said, gods were made human, and men who thought to be gods had to settle for being heroic as they walked the earth together. For Greece has so often stood on the front line of the battle for democracy and for a more just and humane world. You have known what it is to face those who promulgate an extreme version of nationalism, those who would seek to divide us against one another on the grounds of ethnicity, religion, or nationality, and who would ignore or even perpetuate inequalities in wealth, income, and power in an exclusionary way. Only 45 years ago, the students of the Polytechnico, only 4 kilometers west of where we sit today, became the flag bearers of the struggle against dictatorship. And let us never forget them or their courage. And as we now seek to give a new shape to our European Union, and to draw again from, or maybe make new solidarities between the European peoples, we would do well to remember and recall their bravery, as well as the bravery of those who defeated fascism. Bravery in action, and let us not forget, bravery in thought. They imagined a radical new vision, and we would be well served by invoking some of the emancipatory vision and spirit of those days, and by bringing such a vision and such a spirit into the very center of the project we try to do together, the making of an inclusive European Union. I'm very, very moved to see how here
in the city of Athens itself a camp like this can be provided, and that it is being done so well. I should tell you I have been over the years in many refugee camps. Maybe the worst I ever attended was in Mandera in Somalia. I've been in camps in Ethiopia. But I think here what you see is a very well managed camp, I think, and I very much pay tribute to the different agencies who are combining the Greek government with the city of Athens and all of the different NGOs, the UNHCR, the different agencies who are working together. We are going to be debating, all of us, including those of us who are heads of state, what kind of union do we want? Do we want a European Union that the world can look at and say it's a place of equality, rights, hospitality or whatever? Or is it a Europe that lurches along from one atmosphere of fear to another? I hope that the countries you mention will consider the position and realise that if in fact there are failures in our politics and in our diplomacy, it should never be taken out on the most vulnerable of our humanity.